Okay. All right. So we're going to get into another song from Dorothy, and we're going to check out their song Rest in Peace. I cannot quite remember the name off the top of my head of what I did hear from Dorothy. I checked out one of their live sessions on a live stream, but quite honestly, guys, I got a little sidetracked and a little distracted on it, so I was not happy with the reaction, did not want to put it out there in the world like that. So I did really like the band, really did like the overall song, but I didn't really feel like I talked a lot about it, so wanted to get into another song from Dorothy and to kind of put out as my first listen to them. So this is my first official listen to Dorothy, and their song is called Rest in Peace.
Blood on my hands, what's done is done. Lifted by the road with the crows and the dust. Heart so hollow, deep as a cave. One day I'll be dancing on your grave, taking it back, the life you stole. Every little piece you took of my soul. Now I lay you down to sleep, and I pray with the devil you rest in peace. You can't hang your chains on me when you're 6 feet deep. This heart ain't yours to bleed. Now that yours no longer beats. Hallelujah, I'm over you, yeah. I buried you, oh Lord, you're dead to me. Rest in peace.
Okay, before we get into this next part, like, you know, we got a couple things already to talk about, I think. So, one, the first thing that really jumped out of my mind, and then we'll get into the music, was can we bring back like that leather spike swag that she's got going on? Because we've been there and we've done the leather look before. And we haven't had like the turn of the century with that, I don't think, in a minute. And this is like the coolest like spiked leather jacket I have seen in a hot minute. Like, I like the fact that she got the California joint up in there too. That shit is fire. Her voice is super awesome. She sounds great. She sounds it almost kind of gives off a little bit of like a I don't want to say country vibe. But it kind of reminded me, like, cause it just has a strong vocal power in some ways that a lot of other country singers do. But I like the fact that this like kind of like slowly kind of brought up the energy. Like, you know, we kind of kept the energy low for a little bit, and I really like when, like, after the 6 feet deep part, when I thought we were gonna kick the energy up a bit, I was a little disappointed that we didn't. But then when she hit me with like a fire line, like right after that, I was like, that's how you're kicking up the energy. Is I'm gonna hit you with the fire line right afterwards. Like, you can't like hold me with your chains. Like, if you're 6 feet deep or something like that. However, she put that little line right there, fire line. That's how you kick up the energy, because they kicked it up, and like at the end of like when we got to the chorus, like the way that they structured this to like do it that way. Like I said, I typically wouldn't be a fan because I feel like it's too slow of a start. But the way that they did build it was unique and different and very fucking cool. And like I said, I feel like it does like kind of like draw you in a unique way where you're kind of like, what are they doing? Like, why aren't they like? And they're like, oh, and like just kind of kept hitting you with like a little like, you thought you were like prepared for the game plan, but then they like came in with the right hand first versus the left. It's kind of like how like it kind of came across. So very cool that way. All right, before he gets into that guitar solo, I feel like a lot of this maybe about like an ex-husband or an ex-fiance, I was gonna marry you kind of person. Whoever it was we were either married or I was gonna marry you type of thing. Because we did the whole veil thing, and like, you know, you're dead to me. We're gonna. It just clicked. It just clicked, guys. Johnny was wrong, but it just clicked. It's not a wedding one. Funeral. It just clicked. Sometimes, guys. Sometimes I do get it. Sometimes I do get it. Either way, probably still talking about that person you were either married to or close to marrying. The other thing I thought about was like, man, like if there's like any person that I would probably never really want to be in a casual relationship with, it would probably be like an artist like this. You know what I'm saying? Like you never want to be on the opposite end of the pen of somebody who writes music about their life. You know what I mean? You don't want to be the person that ends up dead to them, because like, could you like imagine like if this song was about you? You know what I mean? No matter how much you might hate her and all that stuff, like, you know, just the fact that you have like a living art piece dedicated to how much we don't like you. You know what I'm saying? Is just a wild sentiment in general. It's pretty wild that way. I feel like I lost a thought somewhere along the train here, and I feel like it was more focused on the overall song, like sound of the music. Oh, that's what it was. Because I did listen to like an unplugged version of her first, I already know that like listening to this live is going to be like a different experience. So like, even though it sounds super clean because it is like a clean record, it's going to still sound pretty damn clean when you hear her do it live, because like she does sing well and does it well on a live aspect. So when you got it unplugged, when you got it on a stage, whatever it is, it's going to sound pretty good.
Rest in peace.
I have to say that this is pretty fire. I thought it was pretty good. It definitely is giving me a lot more of, I think somebody even had mentioned it even in the chat, about how it has kind of like a country rock feel to it. And it does. To me, this is what I would consider like there's some country artists out there that sound just like this. So whether or not Dorothy is considered a country artist or not, it's not really that much. It's not really relevant to the situation or the conversation at hand today. But there's a lot of country artists out there that sound like Dorothy. Does that make sense? So like, whether or not she identifies as that, as like what kind of music she makes, I have no idea. I don't know. Don't really care. But it does kind of have like a little bit of that kind of sound to it, where other people who are country artists rip that kind of sound. Where that is kind of the problem in general, is that country is now turned into just a softer version of rock with a little bit of an accent. Is kind of where some of country has gone, or a lot of the more pop country, if you will. So that again is more or less my issue with country. Is it's not about anybody with an accent. My wife is from Georgia. She has a very strong accent. You know what I mean? Like, I have no problem with the accent. I actually find it very endearing. I like accents. I feel like it adds originality to somebody's overall voice, and especially when it's in singing. But it's what the art you're making and the art you're delivering. So I like this. I like this energy. I like this. I'm always about some good female empowerment energy. I'm always about some fuck you like energy type shit. I love a good breakup song. You know what I mean? Whether it's a guy writing about a girl or a girl writing about a guy or whoever. You know what I mean? I like it all different ways. As long as it's about you broke my heart and I hate you. Like, I love that stuff. So that is the real, because you're expressing something that a lot of people have been through and know what those similar things are like. So it's always a great, fun way to really help get through some of those things. I was talking to a friend the other day that has been recently kind of going through their separation to a divorce, and they had said that they were finally feeling about a little better about the situation. And I was very happy for them, because I'm like, I know that it just takes time, and as much as it might not seem like there's ever going to be a future, there always is. And we talk about that stuff a lot too, is that no matter how much life might seem like it's shit today and that it could never get any better, it will. I promise you it will, because I have been there at the lowest of the lows many, many a time in my life, and I know what that feels like, and I know how hard it is to believe that there is going to be a brighter day somewhere in the future, but there always is, and there always will be, no matter how long it takes to get there, and you got to be there to see that light. So you always got to be around to find that brighter day. So again, another live stream reaction, man. You never know where I'm going to go with these things. It gets me talking. It does. It gets me a little all over the place.